Hey guys, Matt Holmes here, Pond Boss Baits, Cast King. Came out to hit one of the farm ponds that I've fished for damn near my entire life. Water's super down. I mean, you can look out here and see water's way, way down. That's my old boat over there. But yeah, it's way down. But something tells me that we're going to be able to catch some fish. So stay tuned. Going to be fishing chatterbait and cranking these edges of the grass lines. Probably going to put the boots on them. May do a little bit of wading. So stay tuned. You won't be upset. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, we're going to start out throwing a chatterbait. And we're just going to kind of walk around this pond and make a lap. We're going to do a lap with a chatterbait, a lap with a crankbait, and by then it may be time to throw topwater, so we'll see. So that could be great. We'll see. There's fish, there's life. Now I grew up fishing this pond. We called it the Catfish pond because that's what we used to catch out of it. We used to catch catfish and crappie out of this pond. But now that I'm grown, I don't really catfish anymore. But I bass fish, and all I really ever catch out of it's bass. I'll occasionally catch a catfish while I'm bass fishing. But so they're in here, and there's good bass in here too. There's one right there, little bitty dude, but he hit it like he stole something. Little chunky 2-pounder, you know, good quality fish. Maybe 1.5 pounds, 1.75 pounds, somewhere in there. But another good fish nonetheless. Really white fish. Water's so dark in this pond. These fish are just bright white. And the thing of it is we've had a cold front. It's been cooler. And it's only 82 degrees right now. It's normally in the 90s. There's another one. Another little chunky fish. Kind of gave himself away. We saw him swirl, and then you know, pitch back to him, and whoa, bam! There he was. Guys, and I've made this tip in other videos, but they didn't get edited right or edited well or whatever, so they didn't get, my tip didn't get handed out or passed down or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to tell it to you now. You'll notice, and you're going to notice mainly the whole video, that I'm going to cast parallel to the bank. For me, that's always been something that my dad taught me, and his dad taught him, and that's the way we've always caught fish. You know, whenever I was a kid, if we were just trolling, we were always trolling parallel to the riprap. If I was, you know, I grew up on the lake in Texas, and I was always casting parallel to the breakwater. Catch a few fish every now and again, just bombing it way out there as far as you could and reeling it back. But I'll tell you what, the majority of my fish catches came parallel fan casting, but mainly in that parallel to 30 degrees off of the bank. And that's where most of our fish came from. And true to this day, it's where we're going to catch most of our fish today too. So pardon the little jungle trip there, walking through the trees. I guess I'm wearing boots, I could have just walked through that. Just didn't know anything about it. Okay, so we're going to come back over here. And again, I'm not really going to get in the water if I don't have to. I really just want to make short, accurate casts parallel to this grass line. And just fish it like that. Because I know that it produces fish. And out here it produces numbers and size. And they'll be right up in it. And I know that that sun's right in y'all's face, and I'm sorry. It won't be as soon as I get to the other side. And like I said, the deal of it is short controlled casts parallel to this grass line, and I'm reeling it maybe a foot, 2 feet deep. You know, this grass, it's only maybe 3 feet out there at the deepest. It's a real shallow pond. With it being down the way it is, it might be 8 foot deep. I think it doesn't get much deeper than about 12 to 15 when it's completely full. And as good as all this stuff looks, that bank right there and that pocket right there are the ones we started out and caught those two in. That's the good pocket. You'll run into a fish or two down here occasionally, but that side over there is the deal typically, because there's rock over there, which we will get away from our parallel to the bank idea, because I know that there's rock out there and I know where it is. Because like I said, I've been fishing here for most of my life. We'll just walk on down until we see like we find a spot. Now we'll fish perpendicular up here because we can reach the other side. That's the exception to the rule, as the case may be. Oh, dadgummit. And I set the hook the wrong way on that fish. There he is. There we go. Chunky bright colored fish. Thank you, Mr. Fish. And away he goes. Should have brought some of those trailers with me. These fish are tearing them up. Oh, he missed it. He missed it. There he is. Yeah. Came back and got it. Guys, it's just a matter of time until we run into Mr. Big. It's just a matter of time. seems like they might be biting a little bit. Get all this gunk and crap off our bait. I mean, they're out there in the middle of nowhere. Right there off, I mean, little clumps of grass. There were clumps of grass that were held that fish. Guys, I don't think it gets any better. You know, I'm a little brand biased, sure, but at the same time, this rod and reel combo is just fabulous for doing this. I'll link the rod and reel down below in the description. But it's Cast King Spirale rod, designed by Cajun Baby Cliff Crochet, with the spiral wrap design deal. I'll be honest with you, I don't know that it does anything. I don't know that it makes you cast more accurate or makes you cast further, but it sure does look neat. So there's that. I do like the fact there's a little snake right there running around. What are you doing, Mr. Snake? I do like the fact though that due to the wrapping of the guides, it doesn't put any, there's another one, it doesn't put any load, or my line doesn't touch the blank. It's always in the guides, and that's pretty cool. And then my reel, 7-1-1, I think, maybe it's a 7-2, I don't know, is it on here? Yeah, 7-1-1, Crixus, Armor X. This is a great reel. 90 bucks, $89.99, Amazon, CastKing.com. It's a big time reel. It just is. It's the deal. I mean, I might should make a turn with the you know, make a lap with the crankbait and come back. And then, oh shoot, I don't have anything with braid tied on. Or I'd come back and probably throw a frog through all this slop. See if we can get a couple of mondos out of here. This is a fast forward. This is what cool stuff. Frogs. Gotta wait to take now. Fish don't get much pressure over here. I'm way off the property, press off the big one. This is not water too. There's another brush off the jig or something. But you know, I'm watching Zona. The other day, fishing lakes in big water, I guess. Depth. I'm not really things slow as you can, where the legs go. You know, I'm fishing, everything's like, I'm always fishing, regardless of water temperature or color. If you're color 30, I'm always fishing at the top couple feet of the water column. Because I think giving the opportunity, fish always eating up if they're not off their head. Unless they're digging something down. Oh gosh, that was a big one. He just turned on it. Oh, maybe not. He's not too big. Just like the others. That fish stayed there and was like, well, we'll go back and try and catch him. Just another little chunk. Thank you, fish. Yeah, we're going to need another trailer here quick. Actually, we're going to see if we can, oh shoot, yeah. Alright, we had to shorten that up a little bit. We'll see how it works. Hopefully we can get play around with it. Like I said, short, little accurate casts that are parallel to the edges of this grass. Whoops, that cotton got away from us there. Our thumb caught in it. And you know, right underneath the surface. Now see, right around here, as you go out, and it's big rock all over the place. Big sandstone chunks. and I've caught many a fish crawling a bait over the rocks on the grass edges. And that was a little longer than I wanted to make that cast. And I'll tell you why. The reason, okay, this is an important deal for everybody, regardless of where you're fishing. If you're fishing parallel to a grass line, or pretend there's riprap down there. If this was like a riprap dam, you know, you're going to go down and fish parallel to it. Here's the thing. You're going to make some long ass cast and catch one as soon as it hits the water. Now sometimes that can be good because that fish coming through there will fire them up, right? Sometimes that'll work. Most of the time you're going to kind of cause a disturbance and those fish will be wary, and then you're not going to catch them. So what I like to do again is I try to make short, accurate casts. That way I'm not messing any spots up. You know, I want to make 15 to 20 foot cast, 10 yards at the most. Just little bitty casts and pick it apart. You know, and that's what I want to try to do, is pick it apart and get every. Now I'm throwing a moving bait. There was one right there. So obviously I'm trying to catch active fish, fish that are wanting to bite, fish that you're getting that reaction bite from. You know, if you were to walk behind me, I promise you'd catch fish on it. See, there's one right there. You'd catch fish on a jig or something bouncing on the bottom, a big 10-inch worm or something like that. You know, you just would. But this has been a really, really good rod. I've enjoyed it ever since I've had it. My one knock on it is it's a little bit heavy, weight-wise. Like, I feel like they could have, but again, it's got a composite deal, so it's supposed to be a little bit heavier total weight. So that makes sense in the grand scheme of things, and it is how it should be. That was the bottom. Whoops, what happened here? I'm snagged on the bank, and that's something. There we go. So not a big deal. Like I said, it's not huge. It's not like a 8-foot-long broomstick that weighs 19 pounds. It's just a pinch heavy. So, and I don't mind carrying it and fishing it because it works. It gets the job done very efficiently and very effectively. I'm really shocked we didn't just jack them right there. That's the spot normally. That being said, I didn't really make any casts out there into the abyss either. But you know what, the thing about this is even that cast out there, it's still parallel to this bank over here. It's just in deeper water. I'm in 4 foot of water there instead of 2. So I really don't like making, like if I was in the center of the dam, I wouldn't really be keen on making a cast way across there. To me, that's just, you know, unless they just happen to be out there in the middle somewhere, which it happens. But I think your odds are better to try to fish parallel to the bank, whether it's 10 feet off, 2 feet off, 50 feet off the bank. There's one right there. Oh, yeah, little one. Swam with it. Because when you find the depth that they're in, when you make that parallel cast, most of your cast is going to be in the strike zone. You know, as opposed to beating the bank and casting at the bank. Then you're casting perpendicular to the bank, in which case only, you know, 10 feet of your cast is actually going to be in the zone. You're wasting a lot of fishing. You're wasting a lot of casting on dead water. But, for instance, if these fish are holding in 4.5 feet, because there is a little break right there. Like I said, I've fished this pond 1 billion times. I've swam in it. Camped out here. We've hunted out here. We've done it. I know this body of water. There's another one. Whenever you fish, and again, that fish was 10 feet off the bank. I'm in. Man, how did he get that in his mouth? The thing of it is I am fishing my cast in the strike zone the whole time, because I'm in that depth that they want. And like I said, I know that they're in that depth. You may catch one out here casting parallel or perpendicular, casting out there in no man's land. You may catch them 10 feet off the bank. And guess what? You may catch 5 fish in a row 10 feet off the bank. You know what that tells me? How many fish are you missing out by not casting 10 feet off the bank down the length of the shoreline? Because then your fish is, your bait ideally, unless they're schooled up in one particular spot, then you've got your bait in the zone. Let that be a little tip from the boss for me today. Fish parallel to the bank when possible. Anytime possible, always do it. You're going to put yourself in a better position to catch fish more consistently. And our trailer is ruined. The fish have just jacked it bad. Alright, so we're going to go back and get a different one. We're going to walk down the dam, come back, we'll see you back here in a few. Different bait maybe. Big old honking crankbait. Big square bill, dives 6 to 8 foot deep. So we're going to slow roll it out here. Got it on Cast King White Max with I'm actually throwing this on braid. This is Cast King braid. 20-pound test, I think. And I really just kind of want to slowly reel it. I'm not trying to bang it into anything, because I just want the fish to hear it and they'll come find it. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to make short, accurate casts to the outsides of these grass edges, or weeds, or moss, or whatever you want to call it. And that's what we're going to do. And hopefully it works. If not, well, crap. Oh well. We know what does work. And you know what? I may be moving it too slow for it to work. They may want to smash it when it be running fast. So I may need deeper water. I did have, like I said, I had a massive bite on this. Not this particular bait, but same blank, different bait, and just hammered it. I know they are here, and I know they will eat this bait. I've caught little fish on this, on the bigger 8.0 blank, so I know that they'll eat this 4.0. And hopefully we can catch one on video. Hi guys, it's time for fish of the day. I don't know where I just came up with that. Alright, we're gonna go underneath into the mud. Yeah, that wasn't too bad at all. Didn't even get wet. Guys, I've got the hat mount on this video. Tell me what you think. Do you like the hat mount? Do you like the chest mount? To me the chest mount gets, all you see is hands. Remember one day I fished this pond for 2 hours. Didn't get a bite. Cold front came through. I was ready to go. The temperature must have dropped 15 degrees. The water was up all the way up to probably here-ish. And I flipped a little Lake Fork craw right there. Caught an 8-pounder. And I freaked out, because to that point in time it was the biggest bass I'd caught. So it was totally rad. Okay, so I'm in the water just a pinch so I can get on the outside edge. See, I told you. I told you. Well, I got him hooked. I got him face and tailed. What's up with that? He freaking slammed it. You have to get it out of your face first there, Bubba. And there we go. Huh. Not a bad fish. 3.5. Maybe 3 3/4. Little tub. And here's the thing, folks. Like I said, dirty water. I'm standing in the water, and I caught that fish right there, right at the end of my cast, or into my rod. Isn't that crazy? Thank you, sir. I'll have another. Ain't that something? It says you can't fish crankbaits in close quarter combat. I mean, and we saw it. Hell, I had it down in the junk there and pulled it up through the water. It was boom! That's wild. Good stuff. Whoops. Fall in the pond if I can't get my daggone feet out of here. There's another one. As soon as I hit the water. Go. I missed the rod. I missed the old line. Let me get a picture right here real quick, just because my wife was asking about it. where I was at. Can I find her something sweet on the way home? Another little chunky 2 3/4 3-pounder. Well, we have done what we set out to do, and that was to get bit on this bait. And we did it kind of on back-to-back casts. It's pretty wild. Now this is a rod I picked up at Academy. It's a cheap, I say cheap, it's inexpensive. I haven't found it to be cheap by any means. I wish the handle was a little longer. It's a little short for my liking. Other than that though, it's a great little rod. This is a Shimano Celis, and I'm obviously no way affiliated with Shimano, but I do like the rod. I have a few of them. Like I say, guys, you can get this square bill, these big Magnum square bills, from me, Matt Olmstead, over here at Palm Boss Baits, and they catch fish. I mean, you've seen it. They work. I kind of want to catch a small one so I can show you that, you know, small fish will eat them too. But at the same time, I really want to catch a giant one. So, but like I said, parallel to these grass edges, moss edges, weed edges, whatever you want to call them, and the fish are just coming up and smoking it. Just got all this pond grass, duckweed, whatever you call it. Like I said, I'm just waiting for that big one. There's another one. I think you didn't want that. Thank you, fish. Guys, I know that, well, boss, you're on a pond. It's easy. Sure, it might be. Might be a little easier. I mean, I'll tell you, it'll be a lot easier. It's an old pond. I've fished it my entire life. I know every bit of this water. I know everything about this pond. I've seen it when it's damn near been dry, and I've seen it when it's been full. I've never seen it go dry, but I've seen it with less water that's in it now. And I know that the fish are concentrated, whatever, sure. You're not fishing a big body of water. Tell you what, these same tips, same things I'm telling you, we're going to work just fine on a big body of water too. Keep your bait in the zone. Notice I said this is a big bait and it dives 6 to 8 feet deep. And guess what I'm not doing? I'm not fishing it 6 to 8 feet deep. I'm fishing it where the fish are. And I'm fishing it shallow. My wife is going to be mad. And they've been chewing it. And this is after we've already come through with the chatterbait and caught a bunch of fish. There he is. There he is out there. And again, just slow reeling it. Look how white these fish are. Another little chunk. Just trashing them. And just slow reeling it. And he just freaking, he thumped it. Put some slack in it, I reeled up to him and he was boom there.